Hey, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're enjoying the video so far. Today I'm going to be reviewing SSS.Gridman, and I've got to admit, I actually really like this. At first, when I started watching this, I wasn't a big fan of it, and I found it very boring. But when you kind of start off on it, it's actually very, very good. But if you like this sort of content and you want to see more, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as that cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. Yeah, let's just jump straight into it. When I kind of saw this anime, it reminds me very much of Ultraman and Super Sentai and stuff like that, which I generally really liked because I like giant robots, I like giant things fighting, I like monsters, I like the Super Sentai element, and I also kind of like Ultraman to some degree. So with this, you're kind of introduced to a character called Yuta, and at the very beginning he's got amnesia, and he finds like this kind of old shop, like this kind of, I would say like charity shop or junk shop or whatever, and he finds a computer in there that has Gridman in this, and they're able to kind of combine together to form a very bigger version of Gridman. The main general gist of this is Yuta fights giant monsters with a morpher on his hand. He gets sucked into the computer, he becomes Gridman, they fight, they destroy, but the kind of weirdness is, I'm going to kind of go off script on this and kind of look back from what I remember. So it kind of like, this is another world, this isn't Earth type thing, it is Earth, it's like a copy of it. And you find this out by a character or two characters that kind of do this. So Gridman has no memory, he's lost his memory as well, and you know, it's this thing where he combines with Yuta and stuff like that. But then you've got other characters that come along. There are too many names in this for me to write down and kind of reference all back. But you have like different combinations of things that would go on to like a Megazord and stuff like that, or a mech to kind of give power up, like drills, spears, stuff like that, swords, loads of different things. And I like this because it felt very kind of, this is what I would see a mech type anime to be like, even though he's not a mech, but that sort of thing, like giant robots. So the main two bad guys are Akane and Alexis. And Akane is like a normal girl, but apparently she's God in this because she's created this universe. And Alexis is the kind of posh English villain that you would normally see in a lot of things, who basically makes the kaiju come along and kind of like, you know, makes them real effectively. So there are tons of different ones in this. The one that really stands out to me is the giant kind of turtle monster that when Yuta and his friends go to like kind of a swimming thing. It's a beach basically episode. It's a beach episode. That's pretty much what it is. But I can't digress going too far into it. It wouldn't be an anime without the main character having some friends. So you have Rika and Sho. Rika is the main female, and Sho is the guy who supports because he loves kaijus and monsters. So going back to Akane, I thought that she was going to be another kind of member of the Gridman squad, effectively helping out, doing stuff. I thought she was going to join them and stuff like that, but apparently not. She's God in this. Who would have known? So pretty much every single episode, a kaiju will attack the city, and that's the premise. So effectively, if this was one weekly, it would be pretty much just like Power Rangers, Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, Ultraman, etc, etc. At first, I thought this anime was very boring. It was very kind of slow to begin with, but after thinking it's like maybe the third episode, it picks up, and I like that because it was generally for me watching and enjoying it that after the first couple of episodes, I was hooked. I wanted to watch more. I wanted to know how the story kind of unfolded. Now, one of my favorite characters was obviously Akane, and for her, I generally found her very mysterious at the very beginning. You know that she was going to be dangerous. You knew that she had this kind of like hidden mystery behind her. And you kind of see it at the very beginning because in her world, if people die, they get erased completely out of existence. There is no memory of them whatsoever. So if they have families, you know, it feels like the world rebuilds and it doesn't have them around. What she does to Yuta at the end absolutely shocked me, and I didn't realize that she'd do it. I'm not going to spoil it because you have to watch this for yourself, but for what she did, I was like, oh damn, oh no. Obviously with Alexis and Akane, I generally kind of thought, oh, like, you know, obviously Alexis has his own thing, he's got his own master plan, he's using it, and you do see this all the way through where he's very charming to her, like, oh my god, you've done really well, like, you know, you'll get them next time, you'll do amazingly. And it's when she starts kind of standing up saying, I don't want to do this anymore. That's when he was like, okay, plan's done. I'm now going to use you. Boom, that's it, you're gone. So the anime is very lighthearted. There is some humor in this, and there's a lot of kind of character development. You see some characters that are a bit meh, but then you see some characters that kind of work together and they kind of warm up to each other. When it is a bit more serious, you see a bit more of a Kane. And one thing I think this should have been all the way through is that Kane later becomes Yuta's girlfriend, and it's because she's kind of split reality and she's gone, hey, I want this to look like this, you know, I'm trying to take you all away. So with Yuta, she becomes his girlfriend. With Rika, she becomes the best friend. They do all the girly sort of stuff. And with Sho, they go to like conventions and stuff. And I think it's what's more like, oh my God, is at the end when all of this comes back and they kind of wake up and they kind of come back into the real world. That's when things go kind of crazy, and it's just like, whoa, that never happened. What the hell? One of the things with Akane, might as well be a video about her, but Akane does something really interesting, and she makes everyone in the entire world like her. Regardless of what she can do, they will always like her, and I thought that was kind of genius. If you're going to make a world where everyone's going to turn around and be like, hey, I think you're cool, we all like you, and it kind of makes it harder. Now, I generally thought at some point is when she mentioned this, is there would be a thing where everyone in the area would come together. So when you see Yuta about to transform or whatever, like everyone would come out and be like, hey, I'm like, pull them back, make sure it's harder, or destroy the computer. Like the mum would be like, you don't like it, Kane, I don't like you, rah, and then just destroy everything. That to me would have been perfect, and I would have expected this, but it didn't happen, which I was kind of gutted about. So one thing I liked about this is, obviously in Super Sentai, Power Rangers, whatever, we see these giant mechs form, and then it's like, how much power do they have? So in one of the episodes, all the Gridman Alliance come together and they try and form this giant mech thing, and it doesn't work. The power is too hard, it's too slow, or it just doesn't work. So they have to downsize it, and I generally thought that was genius, because once they've downsized and used a lot less power, you do see quite a bit going on. Like they're able to fight, they're able to transform quite quickly and have other transformations come together. And they actually reference this, like, hey, the power's too high. And I love this. This gave more explanation. It wasn't just like hey, we're super powerful all the time, let's do this, let's do it. You know, it felt like it was a natural thing. There's a problem, we've fixed the problem, it's solved. Now, one of the best characters in my eyes was Anti, and he was designed to defeat Gridman, to kill Gridman. That was his main goal. And he does this all the time. He attacks Yuta, he attacks Gridman. As soon as Gridman appears, he is there. He is grown into his kaiju form. He is going to destroy Gridman. And it becomes a problem for Akane and Alexis. Like, they start hating him because he doesn't do the job. At the very beginning, Akane's very loving to him, saying, hey, you can do this. But the second he fails, that's it. She doesn't want him at all. She wants to get rid of him. They're getting sick and tired. But when Anti turns into Gridman, which is Grid Knight, he just literally takes the place of Gridman for a while because Yuta gets knocked out. And I generally really like this because it went from, you are my enemy, to I am now your friend, but I don't trust you, but I don't trust anyone else, so I'm going to be on your side. And I was just like, do you know what? This is really kind of cool. And at the very end, I think Anti sticks about too, so they'll always have a Gridman, because there is something that happens at the very end that kind of makes a bit more sense. I think that if they made a second anime, like a part 2 to this, that would be the thing that I would love the most. It would be more focused on him as well, because even though he was the bad guy and he popped up, I felt like he had more to tell. This could have been a bit longer and you'd see more actions of him, and that's what I wanted. I wanted more of Anti to come along to actually kind of prove himself. And he does prove himself at the end, but I feel like it's a little bit too late. Alexis is one of my favorite bad guys in this as well, because it felt like you knew exactly straight away what he was going to be like. He was going to be the, oh, I'm going to make sure that you don't win, or, oh, you're amazing on this, I can't believe it. And I generally really like that, because he was supporting, and then as soon as he just was, I'm going to do this my own way, it was gone. He would only do a few things. And I think to me that is a really good part, because he was a bad guy that you sussed out straight away, compared to what it is now, to be like, oh, do I trust him? Is he a good guy? Isn't he a bad guy? You know, it's that sort of thing that kind of like brings up. One of my favorite scenes is when Yuta, Akane and Alexis get food together before a kaiju attack, and it's just like, oh, why am I here? And suddenly Alexis just comes in and you're like, oh damn. But like no one kind of pays attention, like, oh my god, it's a monster. It felt like he was a father figure. That's what I kind of liked as well. So having a father figure was kind of perfect for Akane. I just generally kind of thought I wanted to see more of that interaction. The animation and everything, it was very kind of spot on as well. I liked the colors, I liked everything about it. It didn't feel kind of out of place. So obviously they've taken the time. So I generally really liked the entire whole aesthetics of it. I think I could watch this over and over again. So if there's a second season coming out, I'd be on board for watching it. It had everything that I kind of wanted. It had the humor, it had like battles in it. Like the animation for the battles was like really good. You know, the combination. So you knew that they put a lot of time into it. But this entire anime itself, I think is a great anime, and I highly recommend it. If you're into monsters like kaijus, like Super Sentai, Ultraman, everything like that, I would wholeheartedly go for it. I also really like the fact that they started bringing out Figma toys, and I got Gridman because he was really cool. Just the way that he could pose, and it felt like a proper hero stance. So if you want to see that review, I'll put it up here hopefully, or I'll put it down below in the description so you can check out that review. I recommend this anime. I think it's one that if you want battles, you know, it hasn't got fan service that much. I don't think it actually has any fan service, but it has enough to keep you entertained. If you can get past maybe the first 3 episodes, then you kind of get into it. All the characters I think are great, and the ending again was very sad. I was like, oh, but let me know if you've seen it. Let me know down below in the comments. But yeah, would I recommend this? Highly recommended. Go out and buy it. It's out now. I'll put links in the description on where you can get it. But yeah, definitely worth a watch, definitely worth a buy. Or I think maybe you can stream it on Funimation. Either way, I'll put links in the description. Buy the Funimation thing, because finding stuff on there is hard. But yeah, like links in the description where you can buy this, and let me know what you think down below in the comments. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like this sort of content and you want to see more, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as that cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.